don't have a proven process to sell, then you don't have a proven process to scale. Today, I'm gonna give you some tips, 5 steps, how to improve your sales process and increase business. Now, this is me coming from experience, speaking from my own experience, now leading and managing over 100 active closers within my organization who are closing for my own product and service. So when it comes to sales process, see, most companies, they don't have a very clear, defined process, how money is made, how cash is flowing. How do you improve that sales process? So today, let me give you a simple blueprint. First of all, you have to understand when it comes to the sales process, there are 5 steps. You have the sales process right here. You also have what I call the buyer journey. So you have the process coming from the company, the seller, the closer's perspective. You also have to understand also from the consumers, the buyer's perspective. What is the journey that they go through? So let's talk about the first step. The first step is what I call prospecting or lead generation. Now, depends on what you do. Maybe the way that you generate leads right now is by cold calling, it's by prospecting, going out there and bringing people in. That's perfectly fine. Or you're a little bit more sophisticated. You have a marketing campaign, you have some marketing in place to bring in people. That's more lead generation. You're adding value to the marketplace. Maybe you're doing content marketing. Maybe you are doing blogs. Maybe you are running ads. Whatever it is that you do, it doesn't matter. It is prospecting / lead generation. Now, from the buyer's journey perspective, then what you're doing is you're trying to get some awareness. The buyer, the potential customer, they don't know that you exist yet. You want to use this step to just make them aware that you even exist. Basically saying, hey, look at me, I'm here. Pay attention to me, right? That's the awareness. You just want to get some awareness. The next step in the sales process is called qualifying the leads. Now, how do you qualify the leads? You want to qualify the prospect in terms of 4 things: needs, time, money, and decision maker. Needs, how strong are the needs? Time, how urgent is this problem? Do they have to solve this problem right now or maybe 10 months from now? Money, are they able to buy? Do they have the resources? Do they have the budget? Number 4, can they make that decision or they have to talk to somebody else? Those 4 things, that's how you qualify the leads. Now, from the buyer's journey perspective, you have what I call engagement. They're just engaging with your product, service, your company, your organization. They want to find out a little bit more. So before they don't know you, now they're aware. Now they're taking that first initial step and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm requesting a little bit more info, right? Maybe I'm reading a little bit more. I'm just doing the next step to engage. That's engagement. Step number 3, and that is demonstrating value. Now, how do you demonstrate value? Maybe it is to walk them through how your software works, giving them a demo. Maybe it's to invite them to attend a virtual training, a webinar of some sort. Maybe it's to invite them to a live event. However it is that you want to do it, but it is to demonstrate value, is to present what can you do for the prospects. Now, from the buyer's journey perspective, now from awareness to engagement, now we are going to interest. Now, not just engaging there, now, hey, I'm actually interested in your product or service. You have to understand what the buyer is going through if you want to close them. Step number 4 is to negotiate and close. Now you're going to close the deal. What are the terms? What about payment? What about financing? What about the how long you're going to provide the service? Now you're negotiating back and forth. Not proposal, we're not talking about agreement. How do you close that sale? What are the expectations? How to establish those expectations? From the buyer's journey, from interest, now it's commitment. Now it's saying, yes, we're moving forward. Here's exactly how we're going to do business. And the last step, which I believe is actually one of the most important steps, and that is delivery and fulfillment. So now you've closed the sale. You've qualified the leads. How are you going to deliver the outcome that you promise to the prospect? What are the deliverables? What are you going to do? Because this is where you get the referrals. This is how you get the repeat business. See, most organizations, they only focus on the first couple steps, or maybe step number 4.
Matagal lang kami ng UB online. It all started with just one ID. Sobrang na-appreciate ko ang beauty niya. Then,
just want to close. The sale doesn't stop after you close. The sale starts after you close the prospect. And then from the buyer's journey perspective, that is what I call experience. That's the last step. What is the experience you're providing for the buyer, for your client? This is extremely critical because you've done all this work during the sales process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't screw it up in the last step. So how do you improve your sales process? Let me give you some practical examples. Let's take an internet marketing business model. So let's say you are running ads on Facebook or on Instagram or any social media platforms, and you are trying to get attention. Hey, click on my ad. Here's what I can do for you. What are you doing? Step number 1, lead generation. You're trying to generate some leads. You're trying to get some awareness in the marketplace. Hey, pay attention to me. Click on this ad. Now, the minute the buyer, the potential customer, click on the ad, now they go to step number 2, which is what? Engagement. So then you land on your landing page. When they land on your landing page, now they can see what can you do, what is the promise, what are you giving away? Maybe you're giving away something for free. Maybe it's a free book. Maybe it's an invitation. Maybe it's a free webinar. Maybe it's a lead magnet. Maybe it's a free ebook. Whatever that it might be, it doesn't matter. You're qualifying the leads. Then the next step is you want to demonstrate value. Hypothetically, let's say you are inviting them to a free webinar. In that webinar, you are demonstrating what can you do. You are giving them social proof. You're explaining what is it like to do business with your company. And here you go from now engagement to interest. If they sit through the entire presentation or the entire webinar, guess what? They are interested. Then from there, the next step is you go from demonstrate value to now negotiate and close. So let's say at the end of your webinar, your call to action is to book a call with one of your closers. So then your closer can find out about the prospect's needs and close them on the phone. So then from the buyer's journey perspective, you go from now interest to what? Commitment. That's correct. Now they're committed. Now they want to buy. The last step, don't forget, now it's delivery and fulfillment. And from the buyer's journey, now it's experience. What is the experience like to work with your company? What's the experience like to buy from you? Even if you look at this, you think about even in dating, this applies, right? From the very beginning, let's say you go to somewhere, let's say you go to a pub, right? You go to a bar, which I don't recommend, but let's say you go there, you are trying to get some awareness, you're trying to talk to some people, right? And then you want to buy a lady a drink. That's from lead generation. Now you're trying to qualify the leads, right? Are they allowing you to buy the drink? And from there, you're having conversation, right? You're demonstrating your value. You try to get that phone number. And when you get that phone number, you follow up. And maybe you set up the first day, the second day. You're trying to seal the deal and close the sale. And after you guys are together, what is that experience like? How are you delivering, right? How is the fulfillment? It is the same process. So when you look at your sales process, I want you to ask yourself, out of these 5 steps, also from the buyer's perspective, which area can you improve? Maybe you are doing phenomenal in lead generation, but you're not doing so good in terms of demonstrating value. That maybe your presentation needs tweaking. How can you improve your closing ratio, your conversion rate? Or maybe you have a fantastic conversion mechanism that your presentation, you know what, every single person who is a qualified prospect who sees my presentation, I can close 2 out of 10. I can close 3 out of 10. Fantastic. It means that you need to go back to lead generation. How can you generate more leads so that more people will see your presentation? Or maybe step 1 to 4, you are phenomenal. You've got that just dialed in. But guess what? You neglect the fulfillment. After people buy from you, you neglect them, you don't deliver on what you promise, and then there's no repeat business, there's no